Jy is ingeskakel op 'n GROOTplaas en ons het plaaspraatjies geskuif na Maandag toe vir 'n tydelike geleef. So ons begin by ons eerste storie en Suid-Afrikaanse appelbedryf bly groei ondanks druk. Nou die Suid-Afrikaanse appel- en peerbedryf was steeds indrukwekkend veerkragtig, selfs te midde van toenemende druk wêreldwyd. Produsente moet tans uitdagings soos hoër insetkoste, logistieke probleme en internasionale onsekerheid trotseer. Nou ten spyte hiervan bly die bedryf groei, grootliks danksy sterk uitvoerverhoudings en 'n nuwe generasie boere wat tegnologie en moderne praktyke omarm. Nou hierdie jong produsente fokus op beter opbrengste, meer doeltreffende watergebruik en slimmer bemarking vir hulle produkte in globale markte. Die gevolg is dat Suid-Afrikaanse appels steeds kompeterend bly op die wêreldverhoog en dat die bedryf goed geposisioneer is vir toekomstige groei. Nou, groot tegnologie begin boerdery beïnvloed. Ons het almal gedink, ja, dit is net Microsoft en Facebook en die groot maatskappye wat ons trotseer by die huis, maar dit is nou besig om boerdery ook te beïnvloed. Kunsmatige intelligensie en groot tegnologie maatskappye begin al hoe meer 'n groter rol speel in wêreldwye landbou. Maatskappye soos Google en Microsoft ontwikkel slim hulpmiddels wat boere help besluit wat om te plant en hoe om hulle plase te bestuur. Hoewel hierdie tegnologie produktiwiteit kan verbeter, waarsku kenners dat dit ook risiko's inhou. Boere kan moontlik te afhanklik raak van hierdie platforms wat hulle onafhanklikheid dan beperk. As ook kommer dat dit kan lei tot minder diversiteit in gewasse, aangesien algoritmes sekere gewasse bevoordeel. Die uitdaging vorentoe is om tegnologie slim te gebruik sonder om beheer oor boerderybesluite te verloor. En dan 'n goeie storie oor vroue wat 'n rol speel, sleutelrol in wêreldvoedselproduksie. Vroue speel 'n kritieke, maar dikwels onderskatte rol in wêreldwye landbou. In sommige dele van die wêreld is hulle verantwoordelik vir tot en met 80% van voedselproduksie. Ten spyte van hierdie groot bydra, het baie vroueboere steeds beperkte toegang tot grondfinansiering en moderne tegnologie. Internasionale programme begin nou fokus daarop om vroue beter te ondersteun met opleiding, hulpbronne en geleenthede. Kenners glo dat deur vroue in landbou te bemagtig, voedselproduksie aansienlik kan toeneem wat 'n groot verskil kan maak in die stryd teen hongersnood wêreldwyd. Dit is plaaspraatjies vir vandag. Ons is net hierna terug met ons gas. Jy is ingeskakel op GROOTplaas. Ons gas saam met ons vanoggend Richard York. Hy is van Wildlife Ranching South Africa. Ons gesels oor hulle 20ste bestaansjaar en hoe hulle bydra tot bewaring. Richard, good morning and welcome.
Good morning and thank you to be here.
So, just firstly, who exactly is Wildlife Ranching South Africa?
So we say in the wildlife sector, we haven't got every wild person, but all the wild people are in our industry. WRSA has been in existence for 20 years, and it was actually created from a group of other associations nationally across the country and brought together to be one national voice for the wildlife ranching sector, and basically to promote and be for the sustainable use of wildlife and to promote the agro-sustainable biodiversity wildlife economy, which is quite a mouthful. But in essence, we've taken marginal agricultural land, rewilded it, and brought wildlife back to habitat where they're absent many years ago.
Amazing. Now, Wildlife Ranching South Africa is celebrating 20 years of existence this year. What would you say has been one of the biggest milestones for you guys over the past years?
There's huge milestones, and I think what we can look at is one of the ones that has most recently happened at COP20 last year in Samarkand, where we got the Bontebok delisted. Now, that's a huge achievement, and that's been built on the shoulders of giants, the likes of Dion Furstenberg, Gerard Heineke, John Herter, the Currys, Noel Ross, that have done years of research, data, getting the information together. And we're looking at a process that took about 15 years to get right. And it's that research that has made a huge difference with the delisting, that the world has said, hang on, chaps, you've taken a species from being 17 to over 10,000. We're going to recognize you for what you've achieved. And if we can build on that type of model and showcase what the wildlife ranching sector is doing, it's only going to get better.
So the idea of a conservation economy is highlighted. What does this term mean in practical terms for farmers and specifically landowners?
So it means we're taking a natural resource and we're converting it to be economically sustainable. And few people actually understand it, that you can live with wildlife and benefit economically from it, and that you can generate an income. When we look at other land use options, if we take our own personal farm, for example, that was an old potato maize farm. We converted it into a cattle livestock property, and then we saw, hang on, chaps, we can actually make a lot more income if we were to ranch with wildlife, because you've got the 5 sectors that you can rely on. You've got game breeding, hunting, tourism, products, your game meat, your skins, and then you've also got your mixed agriculture, which plays a vital role. But it's literally taking wild habitat, converting it, and living with wildlife and being sustainable.
How difficult is it to make that transition from, like you said, it might be a potato farm for some of the viewers or something, and making it agriculturally viable in the wildlife sector?
So that's the one thing that a lot of people don't realize, and that's why I referred to the 5th pillar, which is mixed agriculture. And that's what sets us apart from, say, in our protected areas, is that we ranch with other economic drivers as well that we've got on our properties. So not many of our game ranches are completely void of other forms of agriculture. They have got, say, in our maize, or they have got livestock backing them up as for cash flow, because getting into the game ranching industry is exceptionally difficult. It's something that takes time. If we just take, for instance, to breed a buffalo bull for harvesting or for hunting, or to even see what he's going to become for breeding, you're talking about 8 to 10 years. So it's not, unfortunately, a quick industry to enter. It does take time.
The return on investment's not as immediate as
absolutely. It's not this nie so blink soos almal dink.
So how has wildlife ranching contributed to biodiversity conservation and economic growth in specifically rural South Africa?
So if we have a look at our industry, we estimate it to be 20 million hectares currently that's been rewilded. And then when we talk about the 20 million head of game in the country, 16 million, 80% is in private ownership. So the contribution that the wildlife ranching sector has played is huge. Job creation, astronomical, growing that image that we've got for South Africa is huge. And we can proudly say that there's not a single wildlife species in South Africa that is currently facing any form of extinction or risk of extinction in private ownership. That's why we sit currently with 65 to 70% of the world's white rhino population is in private ownership in South Africa. And even the black rhino, we're looking at about 30%. So the contribution that we've made is huge, and growing that rural economy is astronomical.
So from your side, wildlife ranching South Africa, representing thousands of wildlife farmers, what role does the organization play in shaping policy and specifically supporting its members on the ground?
So we've got what we call a national, provincial and regional structure. So we engage with government on all 3 levels, supporting our members, finding out what their challenges are. We've also introduced a way of supporting our members to say we've got legal assistance for them. So should they incur any challenges, we're there to assist them. One of the challenges that we've got, for instance, that has come through the ranks is that in the Gauteng province, the departments decided to declare springbuck extra-limital in the Springbok vlakte net hier buitekant in King. So we're sitting with a challenge that farmers that are farming on the Springbok vlakte are getting told that they need to phase out their springbuck, which doesn't make sense. So that's when it goes through a process of us asking letters, sending support, what's going on, and unfortunately we've had to take legal action now against the department to say this is out of line and unacceptable. So we've got a support base across all 3 tiers, and we're there to support the members because we're a non-profit voluntary organization with members, and we want to grow the wildlife economy. We want our members to be successful because the more success they achieve, the greater the success is for us as an industry.
So sustainable use is often a very controversial topic. Why is it considered such a key pillar in conservation success in South Africa?
People don't understand it, and they don't understand that you can be sustainable with wildlife. And I think it's come to a huge degree with the sense that many urban people are divorced from reality, that they don't understand where their food comes from. So when we talk about the wildlife ranching sector, we talk about 3 key messages. Firstly, to grow the wildlife economy, we need to outperform other land use options. I need to still put food on my table. I need to be economically sustainable. And if I can't put food on my table through wildlife, what's going to happen to that habitat that was converted earlier from cropping and maize? It's going to go back to that because I need to generate an income. And whatever I can generate the greatest income from is what I'm going to tend to lean to. So that's why we say it needs to outperform other land use options. The second key message is that the wildlife economy of South Africa is our unique, renewable and sustainable gold. It's a product that self-generates itself and can grow, and you can grow it through utilizing it. And that's what we use through our local and international hunters in terms of our excess product. And then the third key message is, as soon as wildlife becomes valueless to rural people, why are they going to keep it? Why are they going to look after it? And we sit exactly in that current situation. Because there's not a hunting quota at the moment for elephant, leopard and black rhino, people don't want to ranch with them anymore. A leopard that comes into my property and kills my asset is the same as a mouse to the pantry of a housewife. It's just a risk. It just causes an economic burden, and it doesn't put anything back. So if we allowed farmers to utilize that resource, they'd gladly look after it because they get an economic return from it. But if they're not going to get an economic return, they're not going to look after it.
So where does that conversation need to start when it comes to these assets, like you mentioned? Do we need to speak to government and make sure there are better policies in place?
Absolutely. We've just finished now with the public participation on the actual allocation of the quota, and we've been sitting with what we call paralysis through analysis, or a stalemate, that since 2021 we've not had a hunting quota for these species. And it's because we sit with fantastic first world regulations and rules, but we sit with third world implementation, unfortunately. And that's where one of our biggest challenges come in. Is we need to say to people, allow us as the wildlife ranching sector to utilize our resource. And let's quickly highlight the key difference between us and protected areas. Protected areas' first function is protecting the environment for all. That's what our national parks do. As a wildlife ranching sector, our key function is economic sustainability. And then biodiversity conservation is a secondary pillar. And why do we say that? Because if I'm not economically sustainable, no matter what I do, I'm not going to be able to look after biodiversity conservation. And if I don't look after my second pillar, which is biodiversity conservation, it's going to have a knock-on effect on my first pillar, which is economic sustainability. So we don't need all these overburdening rules and regulations. Allow us to perform our duty, allow us to look after wildlife, and we'll grow the wildlife economy.
So what challenges do still exist in balancing conservation goals with profitability in the wildlife ranching sector?
If we look at the global conservation goals, unfortunately, they're not aligned with South Africa. South Africa is a unique model. When we talk about us being a young industry as 20 years, it's because the Game Theft Act of 1991 gave us ownership of wildlife. And bar South Africa and Namibia, I think we're the only two countries in the world where private citizens can own their wildlife. And that's why we've seen this huge growth from the 1960s, where we only had 500,000 head of game, to up to now where we've got 20 million head of game. And these policies are just not aligned with us on the ground. And they also focus more on protectionism and protected areas. And that's where we sit with a huge challenge. If we have a look at any of our national or provincial parks that have got the big five, not one is self-sustaining and financially, economically sustainable. So if you take away government's grants and subsidies, they're not going to exist, they're not going to be there. And we're sitting with this huge challenge in our protected areas, that 80% of all resources are going to wages and to staff remuneration. So very little is actually taking place on the ground. And that's what we need to address and help with. And we need to change the narrative that we can use wildlife to grow the wildlife economy. And we don't need all these overburdensome regulations.
Awesome. Richard, thank you so much for the work that you guys are doing, and thank you for being with us this morning. Dis ons gas op GROOTplaas vanoggend, Richard York. Hy is van Wildlife Ranching South Africa, om te gesels oor hulle 20ste bestaansjaar en natuurlik hulle bydra tot bewaring. Dis al wat vir ons tyd het vir GROOTplaas vir vandag. Ons hoop jy het dit saam met ons geniet, en dan sien ons mekaar weer môre.